Hey guys, hope you had a good Christmas. Uh, it was quite a year this year. Pretty busy in the shop, um, wrapping up Christmas presents. I did a purse, my first purse I've done yet. Maybe I'll do a short little video about that. And I did a belt for my dad. A couple of other knickknacks, kind of just wrapping stuff up for the Christmas season. That's all done. So the shop's probably going to be a little less busy now that everything's been kind of cooled down and everybody's had a breather and all that. I'll still be kind of, putzing away, making little things here and there. I got a set of breast collars I'm doing up. Couple other little things I'm just tidying up. My new shop is really close to being done. We have half of the last wall to finish sheeting for the interior, and we have to put the power box in. Other than that, all the electrical's done, all that, so that's really good. Then after that, I'm on to building benches and kind of just getting ready. Building a box for my air compressor, packing up stuff here that I don't really need. Well, I need everything that I use, but yeah, just getting ready to move in. It's pretty exciting, pretty cool. But today I just want to do a little bit of a talk about blades, knives, touch a little bit on sharpening maybe. This is the way I do it. I don't know, whatever you want to do, that's fine. You go ahead and whatever works for you. But first I want to touch a little bit on blades and styles of blades. So first off, I think every leather worker should learn how to use one of these. I don't think everybody needs one, but I think every leather worker should learn how to make one of these, or should learn how to use one of these. It's a really versatile tool to use in the shop. I use it every day. And that would be the head knife. This is an old one. This is a very old C.S. Osborne. I'm guessing it's from pre-1906, I think it was. So very old. And then I got two other ones here. This is a now Stolman knife. It's a little bit smaller compared to the other ones. And then another newer C.S. Osborne. This one's pretty good. These two are currently in the processes of sharpening. They're not quite there. They just need a little bit more work on a little bit coarser stone, and then we'll be moving up to finer stones. This one's been sharp for a while. I bought this one from a saddle maker up in Rimby. Oceanfront Saddlery is his name. Don't have permission to say his name, but Oceanfront Saddlery is the business. And he sharpened this, and I've been keeping it sharp. Pattern sharp, which is what I like to keep all my knives at. Pattern sharp is where I can cut paper with it smoothly. I can cut my patterns out. Don't have to use a pair of shears or scissors. I do like to use the knives when I cut out patterns. Sometimes I'll use shears. That's true, yes. And then I got a couple other cool ones. So this is a shoe repair knife. This is just I don't even know what it's called, the actual name it is, but it's a flat top shoe repairing knife. I think it's just a trim knife. That is my guess. I also bought this one from a saddle maker, the same saddle maker I bought the head knife from. I really like this knife. I use it a lot for straight cuts. If I'm cutting an edge, if I'm trimming, I'll use it just because it's got a really, really nice, good edge on it, a good long bevel, and these polish really nicely on the buffing wheel. If they're a little bit dull, instead of using a strop, this is a little homemade one. Instead of using a strop, which I try to do every time I use a knife, so that it keeps it sharp, and I have to sharpen it a lot less, and I keep that blade up and nice polished. they buff out really well and they clean up really nicely. If they get a little bit dull, just take it to the buffing wheel, clean it up, cuts like brand new again. Then there's this guy. This is based off of this knife, the C.S. Osborne point knife. This was $15 on Amazon. They're, you know, cheap little knives. This is for $15, it's what you get, right? This is a little bit different one. It's a little bit wider blade, a little bit better handle, way better construction, way higher quality steel. And this one used to be like, you know, yay long. Yeah, yay long about. And it was also a flat top like this shoe repair knife there. But I took that blunt tip off and I tried to replicate this one. Maybe that helps it, I don't know. You can see it, whatever. That's good. I just like to have that point there where if I'm trimming up, if I'm trimming something, if I'm coming around this fat part here, this nice curve, I can use the middle or the very bottom of the blade. And then when I get to this curve here, my blade, there's a gap there, right? My blade doesn't want to turn that corner, so I can drop the blade way down and use this little tip to get into that corner. If I'm trimming, if I'm cutting out from a full hide, then I'll just use the tip and get just in the hide. And then if I'm doing a straight line, I'll put it as far as I can in and pull my strips out as I go, cut out that way. This one's good. I just need to sharpen it. I haven't been using it a lot, honestly. I probably should. I will be eventually. Yeah, they're just good little knives. Good little knives to have. You know, everybody needs a junk knife in the shop. And this is an Al Stolman trim knife. I really like this blade. This one needs a really good sharpen as well. And the blade is a little bit bent. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's pretty bent. I think I don't remember what happened, but somehow it bent. And I've just been using it like that. And honestly, I really like it. It's good for trimming because it kind of tips your hand a little bit when you're trimming. And I like it like that. And then scissors. I don't use them a ton, but I think every shop should have a pair of shears or scissors or something of the like. I mean, I can still cut through a piece of 9-10 ounce latigo with these ones. They're really old. I really like them. And then the draw gauge blade. This is no draw gauge. I also bought from that saddle maker in Bowden. I really like this one. I really like it. It was a new blade, so I had to sharpen it. These are just little replaceable ones, but these ones you can resharpen and use as long as you can keep them sharp, and they're still workable. And then, of course, edgers. We won't be touching on edgers sharpening today. I am still in the process of learning how to. I just haven't had the best luck of sharpening. So if you guys know how, or you have any tips, go ahead and reach out to me and comment or whatever, and I'd love to learn. The stone I use, this is a 400 grit, 400 to 1,000 grit. All of these knives here, except the $2 head knives and the cheaper Amazon one and the Al Stolman blade, I will start on 1,000. And the way I'll do that, I'll use the back side of the blade so I don't wreck my knife or my stone. Just as I'm demonstrating, I'll put my knife on and I'll follow the degree that it's on, so I don't have a set degree. I don't have like 20 degree, 45 degree, whatever. I can feel where that edge is, and I can feel where I need that edge to be. And then I can just pull it. Just pull it on that edge. Reset it every time. Of course, it's a whetstone, so it's going to be wet. And then same with this tip, since these are both flat ends. I'll just pull it and just pull straight back. Get that edge good and good. I don't know. And then I'll take it to the strop, and I'll just strop it back and forth until that burr falls off in the entire way. And you're just looking for a burr on one edge when you start sharpening, and then once you've done that edge, flip it over and then sharpen it, and then feel for a burr on the other edge, and make sure you do the same amount of strokes. So if I do 15 on this side of the blade, when I flip it over, I have to do 15 on this side, or else my edge is gonna look like this. You know, one's really steep, or one will be longer than the other one because I did more on one side than the other, and that's a good thing to keep in mind of. That's one of the biggest things when I learned. Then for head knives, what I do is I turn my stone 90 degrees, so it's long way sitting this way. Normally I sharpen it like this, the long way is facing directly with me. But I'll turn it, and I'll put my blade on the edge I want, and I'll just do this. Right. Just to kind of help lubricate that a little bit more than wet as a dry as a bone. I'll just do this, right? Really nice sweeping, and then I'll flip it over, do the opposite side. Then I'll turn it and put it in my other hand like this. And I'll do this side, then I'll do this side, and then I'll do the entirety of the blade on this side, and then the entirety of the blade on the other side, just so I'm making sure that I'm getting that whole edge, and that this entire edge is getting sharpened as one piece. So I'm originally working this side, then this side, this shoulder, then this shoulder, originally to kind of get that bevel started, and then I work the whole blade back and forth as I move forward. My sharpening scissors, they will have a bevel on them already, and it's going to be a pretty steep bevel. It's going to be like, you know, that or something like that. Just feeling it. It feels like a pretty dang steep angle. And then you're going to need a flat back. So the opposite, the inside of the scissor, this part here needs to be flat. And then this outside part here, this outside part here, the angle part, needs to be beveled. And that's where your cutting's going to be coming in. And then give it a good strop and a good sharpen. For these draw gauge blades, you're going to pop that blade out. You're going to put the longest bevel you can on that. So not a very flat edge. It's going to be really long, and mine has a little bit of a curve in it. It's not perfectly flat. That's kind of just the nature of sharpening them. They're so small. They're hard to hold. I actually had them with a pair of pliers, a pair of vice grips, and I was sharpening it. But you do have to start those from scratch, so you do have to put your own bevel on it. So when you do sharpen those, try and put as straight and as flat as an edge as you can. No idea what degree I did it on. I just was like, yeah, that looks about right, and went to sharpen it, and then looked, and you know. And for whetstones, make sure when you have your whetstone, go and buy yourself a whetstone. I would say lowest grit I would go is about 400, and you can go as high as you want, whatever the highest grit you can find. That's fine. But just know that you have to work your way up incrementally. And I'm going from 400 to 1,000. That's a big jump. I would go 400, 800, 1,000. That's what I would do, because I'm spending a lot of time on this 400, this green side grit, to get that good edge. And then I'm spending a lot of time on this 1,000 grit, because I'm taking it from really coarse to a really fine stone, or to a fairly fine stone, I guess. I mean, you can get 8,000, 9,000 grit stones, right? I'm taking it to a fairly fine finish grit, and that's a big jump. So there's a lot of abrasions, and there's a lot of cuts and grooves, micro grooves in that blade that I have to now take a lot longer to do on the 1,000 grade, because I didn't go up to an 800 grade or grit, and then slowly work my way up, slowly making those micro cuts and abrasives in the blade. I'm not a scientist on it, but I know I can sharpen pretty well. They work fine. They cut just fine. And same goes for pocket knives. If you're sharpening your little pocket knife here, just follow the edge that's on the blade already and work it till there's a good burr on both sides, the same amount, and then take it to your strop, give it a really good strop, and then I like to take mine to the buffing wheel to kind of finish it off, give it a good polish, really make it shine and give it a pop, so that you have a dandy good blade. And yeah, so there's a couple other sharpening techniques for different tools that I have not mastered, and I am not willing to share at this point. Like, this is a stitching awl. It's a diamond awl. I sharpened it. It's not very good. I need to learn how to properly sharpen those things. Maybe on a later video we'll do that once I'm a little more knowledgeable. Always learning, always growing. Yeah, so that's kind of all I wanted to touch about today. And I will be doing a video once my new shop is built and once we're kind of moved in. Once that video is out, I think we might be doing a little more often, videos a little more often. I'd like to really grow the channel. I think it's a good way to show the people how I do stuff, and it's important to keep that dying trade alive. Couple little projects still I'm working on. I'll be working on for probably a while. Right now I'm still saving up for my saddle build, which is going to be really cool. I got books. I'm going to go grab those books. First book is called the How to Make Cowboy Horse Gear. I don't know who it's by. Janice, it was owned by Janice Pond, Union Bay, and that's in BC, British Columbia there. By Bruce Grant. 1953 was when it was wrote, or writ, or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a illiterate person, or whatever you call that. I don't know. And the next books I got are these. This is the Al Stolman Encyclopedia of Saddle Building. This is the first edition, volume 1. Not edition, the first volume. Get it right, man. This is the first volume. This is the patterning. Teaches you a lot about saddle trees, the leather, the horse, the patterning, how to not cut your patterns out of the hide, the stretch, which way the stretch goes, how to set your riggings, how to make jigs so your D's are sitting square on your saddle, and all homemade stuff. Like, you can do this just at your local hardware store, and you can build these things really easily. Sharpening techniques, everything you need for patterns, and in that it teaches you how to make patterns, is in that first volume for the second volume. So it sets you up for the second one. The second one is building the saddle. So this is saddle number 1, and they have a third book where they actually build 3 saddles, and the weight is in there. There's a trail, an association, and a wade. I don't know. I don't fully know, but you know, it's this whole thing is crazy. Skirting, ground seat jigs, cabinet scraper, welt jigs, making welts, sewing welts, border designs, fitting jockeys, fitting the seat, stamping the seat, completing the jockeys, plugging the skirt, sheep and wool pad, finessing the saddle strings, blah, 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 all kinds of stuff, rope straps, horn wraps, and a few words about roping. That's just a quick gloss over the acknowledgements, or whatever you call that. The saddle number 1 is regular rigging 3/4 inch double. Regular rigging 3/4 inch double. Teach you how to build the entire thing start to finish. Lace jockeys and laced swell covers. Beautiful saddle, really nice. Hidden stitch on a candle binding, just a pencil binding. Teaches you how to cover the stirrup leathers. And the tree is built on a Sid Special. Now, I know a lot of people actually still make that tree, which is good. That was what I was kind of worried about. Yeah, this book teaches you everything. I've recovered stirrups, saddle strings, and I fixed inskirts, and I fixed jockeys, and I fixed, you know, swell covers, I fixed horns, I've done all that stuff, and I'm fairly confident I could build the entire saddle from the knowledge I have from repairing. But that book really just puts that kind of finish, that, you know, nail on the coffin there for knowledge and for resources. All I need now is a couple more tools, a saddle tree, and 2 hides of leather. And yeah, then we're off to the races, so it's a little scary. Pretty cool, but I'll be doing that in my new shop because I don't want to do it in here. Just too many things I think would go wrong because there's a lot of outside stuff coming in the garage and all that, and I want to have a perfect space, a clean space that isn't going to get greasy from working on vehicles or nothing, and it's going to be controlled and all that good jazz. So on that note, new shop will be done hopefully right away, and we'll be doing a video about that. And then once I get all the stuff for the saddle, I will start throwing pieces on, and I'll take you guys along for the ride. Maybe we'll do a couple more videos here. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We'll do those when the time comes. And I hope y'all had a good Merry Christmas. It was a good Christmas. Kind of flew by. And now we're on almost the new year, 2025, just around the corner. A little scary, a little crazy, but we're here. We're in the now. And yeah, just keep working away in your shops. You know, be adventurous. Don't be scared to try new things. And find someone who knows somewhat what they're doing. Just ask questions. It's the best thing you can do, ask questions and put it into practice. So, hope you guys have a good rest of your Christmas break. I'll get this video out 25th or 26th. Maybe. We'll see. And we will catch you guys in the next video. And yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. We'll see you in the next video.